The Social Security Administration is pushing back the rollout of a controversial anti-fraud measure. Scripps News Group Joe St. George will break down the new policy and when the changes might go into effect. And the wall that heals has returned to the Coastal Bend for the first time in over a decade. We'll check in with neighborhood news reporter Tony Jaramillo, who is at Veterans Memorial High School as neighbors prepare for today's opening. And we're going to go ahead and give you a live look from our SPID Skycam. Be aware, folks, because the roads could be pretty soggy. We have received some much needed rain here in the Coastal Bend. Of course, we'll check in with meteorologist Julia Quady. She'll have a look at your forecast and a look at the roadways this morning. It's Thursday, March 27th. Your Chris 6 Sunrise starts now. Good morning, folks, and welcome to Chris 6 News Sunrise, and thank you so much for starting your day with us. I'm Michelle Hoffman. Brian Hoffman is off. Steph will come in later today, so we have meteorologist Julia Quady, who's at the Weather Center with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I see that we got some much-needed rain. It finally blessed us today.
Yes, it did, and it's not over yet. We got today and tomorrow more of it, and this is going to be good news for us because we definitely, like you said, Michelle, needed that rain in the forecast to help us out with our lake levels and our worsening drought conditions currently in place in the Coastal Bend. Now, it does potentially make for a bit of a tricky situation towards your morning commute. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you can expect from your traffic flow maps right now. Heading from Portland over to the Harbor Bridge in both directions there. You're looking at a clear and easy drive. No hiccups or slowdowns happening on the Harbor Bridge at this moment. Moving now towards downtown. All clear on your roadways heading from Ocean Drive down to SPID as well as on Saratoga, and having no slowdowns or any issues on those three roadways at this moment either. Moving now on over to Flower Bluff. All clear on Waldron Road. Heading on Flower Bluff Drive, looking at no traffic issues or concerns there. Heading towards the gate at NAS Corpus Christi, though, you can expect a small bit of a slowdown happening as you start to approach that gate, so just make sure you keep that in mind if you've been in a bit of a hurry. And then heading on over towards the JFK Causeway, going to and from the island. Again, you're looking at easy driving conditions with no traffic issues or slowdowns currently at place, but you still want to make sure you're driving carefully because, like Michelle noted, we are dealing with some wet pavement and wet roadways as those showers continue to happen across the Coastal Bend. Speaking of which, I'll have more details on that, my forecast coming up.
Julia, thank you so much. We'll check in with you in just a bit. For first, we head to Washington, where the Social Security Administration is pushing back the rollout of a controversial anti-fraud measure. Scripps News Group Deputy Political Director Joe St. George joins us live now this morning. So, Joe, as you know, the plan policy requires applicants who can't verify their identities online to visit a field office to complete the claim in person. So we have a lot of questions still, though. Can you tell us who is still expected to go in person, who can continue to make phone calls, and when is the policy change expected?
Well, let's start with the why here, because I think that's important. The Trump administration believes that there is massive fraud when it comes to Social Security payments, direct payments in the United States. And that's the genesis of why a few days back they announced that you'd have to verify your identity in new ways. Currently, you can verify your identity over the phone. Clearly, the Trump administration thinks that has led to fraud. Now you're going to have to go to a field office or verify it online. Well, that announcement a few days back sparked a massive outcry from folks who said not everyone on Social Security has reliable forms of transportation to get to a field office. It's not like a field office is in every county in Texas, for instance. Additionally, they said not every Social Security recipient is tech savvy. Introducing a new online portal may be a bit complicated. So you had the outcry, and now we have a bit of a rollback. All of this was set to take effect next week. It's now being pushed back another 2 weeks to mid-April, and it no longer applies to those receiving Social Security disability benefits, which impacts millions of Americans, millions of people in Texas. You're still going to be able to identify and verify your identity over the phone in case you need to make something like a direct deposit information change. Let's say you just switched from one bank to another. Now, for my retirees out there, because I know there's retirees watching me right now and who get their Social Security benefits, this still is on track to apply to you. So if you're a retiree or you're looking for survivor retiree benefits, you would still be expected to use this new online portal or visit a field office, again, beginning the middle of April. All in an effort to crack down on fraud by the Trump administration. We'll continue to follow this to see if there's any pushback, delays, or alterations. But for now, retirees, you're still going to, this change is going to apply to you.
Good info, Joe. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Thursday. So as we all know, that big rain event that we've been talking about all week finally started and began yesterday and continues today and will continue ahead on your Friday as well. Let's go ahead and get into those rainfall amounts that some neighborhoods have seen so far. Taking a look at our Coastal Bend weather watchers photo that was sent in by Ray and Melissa Magana over in Skidmore. They actually ended up recording around 5 inches of rainfall in their area. So if you have any cool pictures of noting any rainfall amounts that you've seen in your neighborhood, you can go ahead and share that to our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers page on Facebook. But that actually really makes sense towards rainfall amounts that have so far been reported from the National Weather Service around that same range of rainfall in Skidmore that has been recorded. So they have recorded as of 5 o'clock in the evening yesterday above 4.5 inches of rainfall, above 1 inch of rain happening over in Port Aransas. Kingsville looking close to 2 inches there. But again, all these rainfall totals next to me, these are related towards the amounts that have recorded ending around 5 o'clock in the evening yesterday. Of course, we've been seeing more rain since then, still happening right now at this moment. So we can all expect even higher rainfall totals over the next few hours, and definitely as we look at towards the end of this whole rainfall event by tomorrow and your Friday. Right now, looking at Doppler radar, we can see those showers passing on through. Still heavy at times throughout parts of B County, sections of Live Oaks, as well as San Patricio County, seeing some heavier pockets of rainfall right now. Parts of the Coastal Bend still getting a bit of a pause right now, specifically here in Corpus Christi. We haven't seen much of any rainfall just quite yet over the past few hours, but we are expecting everyone to get a little bit more in on some more rain action over the next few hours as those showers become once again more widespread and heavy, maybe possible thunderstorms noted in those areas as well later on today. Now, we still do have flood alerts currently in place across the Coastal Bend, a flood watch that will be in effect until tomorrow at noon on your Friday, and a couple small pockets of flood warnings that are currently in place in B County, on the county line of New Essex and San Patricio County, and Jim Wells County, having those flood warnings currently in place. So heading out the door, just make sure you drive carefully and turn around, don't drown. If you see any areas that have a bit of a ponding on those roadways, just find another direction to get towards your destination. Looking at our temperatures, waking up in towards the mid to upper 60s, even to the low 70s throughout most of our neighborhoods right now. In for yet another muggy morning, just on the account of that moisture and humidity at play with those widespread showers still that are going to continue here in the Coastal Bend. We can see as we head towards this afternoon, all of us will be in on that shower action across the area. It's going to be set to last even as we head towards this evening into the overnight hours on your Friday. Now, we do expect those showers to begin to have a cutoff period as we look ahead towards your Friday afternoon, and by then we'll be looking at warmer temperatures coming back towards the mix and more sunshine as we look ahead towards this weekend with above average temperatures that'll last into next week.
58,281 names on this wall, the wall that heals, a 3/4 scale replica of the memorial in Washington, D.C., honors their legacies to communities nationwide, and I'll tell you more about it coming up.
Welcome back, folks. For the first time since 2011, the wall that heals, a traveling replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, is back in the Coastal Bend. Neighborhood News reporter Tony Jaramillo joins us live now this morning from Veterans Memorial High School, where the exhibit is now open to the public. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Michelle. Yes, I'm joined here by Scott Sutherland. You're the president of the Rotary Club of Southside Corpus Christi. Is that right?
That's correct. Thank you, Tony.
Talk to me about just what all went into the process of getting the wall that heals here in Corpus Christi.
The process started approximately 2 years ago and really ramped up about 6 months ago when we really started meeting with the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund in Washington, D.C. and getting everything organized to get this wall down here.
Scott, what's been the response from not only the veterans, but just the rest of the community about the wall here?
The community, Corpus Christi community is amazing. We have 5 people in our committee, as we mentioned earlier, and anytime we reached out to the community for anything, we never heard a no. It's like, what can we do to help?
Yeah, for sure. And what are some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes into getting something like this here in town?
Oh my God, we've had Zoom meetings every month for the last, like I said, last 6 months, committee meetings, you name it, we had to do it. It's as far as, getting the site organized, getting security, getting over 200 volunteers to come out and be here to help our veteran community to have the experience they need for this wall.
And we were talking earlier, you said that you're one of the 5 co-sponsors that made this possible. You guys could sponsor anything, We're a military-heavy community. Why choose something like this?
Well, Vietnam was a very tumultuous event in our lives. I was a young man when it was going on, and I can remember, vividly the way our veterans were treated when they came home. And this is something we can do to help those veterans heal and welcome them home.
Yeah. Scott, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Michelle, back to you.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Thursday. So waking up in the Coastal Bend, we're all seeing some shower activity, or if not at this moment, that shower activity, you're at least seeing a moment of when it was happening in terms of your roadways and all the pavement across the area being a bit soaked. Now let's go and get into a couple notes that we need to know about the forecast before you head on out the door. First things first, we know things are still a bit volatile with that weather situation that we're having with that very heavy rainfall and showers and thunderstorms that were passing through the Coastal Bend yesterday, causing flooding concerns that will remain to be in place this morning and will continue to be in place at least until tomorrow on your Friday as well. Thankfully, fire danger has taken a serious step back with all this moisture and humidity and widespread showers at play. Fire danger is not going to be a concern for us at all this week, but we do expect potential of that being an issue later on down the line, just as we expect more of drier conditions returning back to the Coastal Bend beginning over this weekend. And we'll also see associated with that drier weather a warm up in our temperatures going way above average as we look ahead towards this weekend and throughout the majority of next week. But let's go ahead and take a look at our current rainfall totals that we have accumulated here in the Coastal Bend over the past 24 hours. We can see over in Live Oaks and B County receiving really the heaviest rainfall totals so far from our rain event, seeing anywhere near between 2, 3, maybe up to 4 to 5 inches of rainfall throughout parts of B County. Thankfully, a lot of that rainfall has happened nearby our reservoir and nearby our watershed, so that is going to be good news for us in the long run as it helps us out with our issues with our very low lake levels that are in place. But we still also do have those flood alerts currently in place as well across the Coastal Bend, that flood watch that will be in effect until noon tomorrow on your Friday, and a couple patches of some flood warnings in B County, around the county line of San Patricio, Nueces County, and over in Jim Wells, with that being in place because of those heavier rainfall totals right now happening in those few communities at this hour. Now, as we know, like I mentioned, we still are dealing with drought conditions here in the Coastal Bend. That's why we are thankful to have these showers that are passing on through. But some folks might be wondering, how can we have issues with, of course, our low lake levels, our severe drought conditions, but then still have flood watches and flood warnings in effect throughout some neighborhoods? And it ties to 2 important factors. One being that is a lot of rainfall that we're getting in a very short period of time, and also the type of soil that we have at play here. So of course, sand is a little bit less dense surface, so it allows rainfall to really soak on in, not really accumulating on that type of surface. But whereas with clay, there is a more dense soil type, so that allows all that rain to really begin to build on up, then causing ponding and then eventually flooding throughout some neighborhoods. So that's why there's a bit of an issue there for us in the forecast for now. Looking at our temperatures, things are going to be on the warm and muggy side, barely reaching towards the upper 60s to low 70s as it relates to our temperatures right now. But things will start to warm up a little bit as we head towards this afternoon, barely make it towards the upper 60s or 70s throughout some neighborhoods for our afternoon high because of all those widespread showers. They'll continue to be in the forecast today and looking ahead towards tomorrow too, but we will dry out with warmer temperatures into next week.
One summer, over 1,500 kids, and they need your help to help raise $20,000. I'm Michaela Chavez, your neighborhood news reporter in Kingsville. I'll tell you what big event the Kingsville Noon Lions Club is gearing up for, and talk to one mom who's especially thankful for the event. handlebars and spin those wheels, because you're invited to take a ride on the wild side. I'm Michaela Chavez, your neighborhood news reporter in Kingsville. The Kingsville Noon Lions Club is gearing up for their crown jewel event of the year. Follow me to hear more about the story behind the bike ride.
Ride on the wild side. It's a bike tour on the King Ranch and throughout the Kingsville area.
10, 35, even 65-mile routes, all for a good cause.
We camp about 1,500 children yearly, free of charge to them.
He's talking about the Lions Camp.
Well, there's what we call special needs kiddos. We have 3 camps for diabetics specifically. They learn how to take care of themselves, keep themselves clean, and how to administer their medications.
David Christopher says there are over 150 difficulties children who attend the camp may have. The money raised from the bike ride,
They're $50 per rider.
goes towards giving kids like Craig
He's a type 1 diabetic, was diagnosed at age 5.
an unforgettable experience free of charge.
Swimming, dancing, arts and crafts. They have a great camp out, roasting marshmallows.
That's Craig's mom, Sherry Hayes.
It's hard with being the parent of a child with cancer, type 1 diabetic, because you can't send them to just any regular summer camp.
Craig went to the Lions Camp when he was 8 and 9. With her son gone for a week, she worried because of all his medications,
As many as 4 or 5 shots a day.
but found comfort in all the caregivers who became teachers along the way.
Teach them how to administer their own shots. If they are on insulin pumps, they can help them put the pump on.
But what she found most comforting as a mother was her son's newly found self-esteem.
The best thing he said about the camp was that he was just like every other kid there. Every other kid was like him. So it made him feel welcome, supported.
Riders interested in joining will get a t-shirt, goodie bag,
And of course, the knowledge of knowing that you're helping send the children to camp.
So it's a great place to be.
The Lions Club is hoping to get more than 200 riders this year. A ride on the wild side will be on Saturday, April 26th, and it'll start at the King Ranch Gate. With your neighborhood news in Kingsville, I'm Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 Sunrise.
All right, now taking it outside, looking at our First Community Bank atop the USS Lexington. We can see things are looking a bit hard to see on our Skycam just because of all that moisture and humidity currently at play. Just adds towards that hue getting in from those fluorescent lights, just making things a little bit difficult to see. But we can have a better view as we take a look at our Skycams, or I should say our traffic flow maps rather, as we can see things are moving pretty well, heading from Portland over to the Harbor Bridge. Moving now towards downtown, moving all clear on Ocean Drive, heading to SPID as well as in Saratoga. No traffic issue on any of those roadways at this hour. Moving on over to Flower Bluff, all clear on Waldron Road and Flower Bluff Drive. Heading over towards the gate at NAS Corpus Christi, though, you can expect just a small bit of a slowdown heading towards that area, so you may want to keep that in mind. Then heading on the JFK Causeway, going to and from the island, looking at easy driving time and driving conditions right now. But just make sure you take some extra time to drive carefully on those roadways because things are still going to be on the soggy side. That's it for Trapport, but details of forecast coming up.
Alrighty, Julia, thank you so much. Still ahead on Chris 6 Sunrise, Corpus Christi has a pretty vibrant music scene. Still ahead on Sunrise, I'll show you how you can get involved in your neighborhood.
Good morning, welcome back. Now we're taking a live look outside of our Whataburger Skycam pointed over towards downtown. We can see that moisture and humidity because those surrounding showers is adding towards why those a little more extra glare on those traffic lights as well as those fluorescent lights on our Skycam there. We can see it's making a bit of a more difficult view, but some showers are still active throughout other parts of the coastal bend right now this hour. Some of us getting a bit of a break right now, particularly here in Corpus Christi. Not seeing any rainfall right now happening at this moment, but we're all going to be in for a couple more rounds of that shower activity and very heavy rainfall and maybe some thunderstorms passing on through later on in the day. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we can see right now in terms of our total rainfall accumulation so far from the beginning of our rainfall event yesterday. So far we can see over nearby B County as well as Live Oaks County seeing the brunt of those heavier rainfall totals so far. We can see they're looking at anywhere near between 3, maybe 4, up to 5, or maybe even a little bit of 6 inches of rainfall happening throughout parts of the southern portions of B County and Live Oaks County. Thankfully, though, a lot of those heavier rainfall totals are falling nearby our watershed, so that is going to inevitably help us out with our lake levels. But of course, just being quite frank, we need this to happen a couple more times to really help us out to see a long-term benefit in terms of our lake levels improving. But this is a good start. We're going to be happy with this for now. And looking across the coastal bend, we'll see we're looking at anywhere near half an inch again, or even up to 6 inches or more so far with our rainfall totals coming in. And looking at our rainfall reports coming in from the National Weather Service, this is based on recordings coming in as of 5 o'clock in the evening yesterday. So of course we've been seeing more rain since then, so these numbers are already going to be higher as we look ahead towards the later hours today. Of course, we get a new report coming in, but over in Port Aransas, it's looking at over an inch of rainfall. Over in Skidmore, that's just a little bit south of Beeville, you guys are looking at almost close to 5 inches of rainfall in your neighborhood. Kingsville, close to 2 inches. Corpus Christi, a lot of neighborhoods nearby in Nueces County, we didn't see that much rainfall just quite yet, just a little over 1/4 of an inch. So depending on where you are, really so far, if you are in inland and as well as northern neighborhoods, you guys are seeing the higher rainfall total so far from our rain event. And even at this hour right now, looking at our Doppler radar, we can see most of those active showers and heavier rain pockets are right now passing through northern and inland neighborhoods. So B County, parts of Live Oaks County, a little bit now towards the range of parts of the county line of Nueces, as well as San Patricio County. You guys are seeing a heavier pocket of rainfall happening right now in your neighborhood. And those areas that are still seeing those heavier pockets, those are the same neighborhoods that currently have that flood watch still, or I should say flood warning rather, still currently in effect. So parts of B, San Patricio, Nueces, and Jimwell counties having those flood warnings currently in place. Across the coastal bend, the flood watch that is in effect until Friday at noon. That's going to be around that time frame when this whole rain event will begin to slowly come to a stop for us in the forecast. But looking right now towards our temperatures right now, things are going to be on the warm and muggy side on the account of all that moisture across the coastal bend from those showers across the area. So looking at us for the most part being towards the upper 60s to lower 70s. Again, we're not going to see too much of variability in terms of our temperatures just because of those cloudy conditions and showers passing on through. Speaking of which, we'll be looking at an increase of our shower activity definitely by the later hours this morning, carrying on over towards this afternoon, set to last even as we look ahead towards the overnight into your Friday. So just keep that umbrella handy because we're not looking at the end of those showers happening in for our forecast just quite yet. But looking towards this weekend, we got dry conditions returning with more sunshines and above average temperatures.
There's a spot for everyone to join Corpus Christi's thriving music scene, whether you're looking to show off your talent or just enjoy the show. Take a look.
We want to provide musical outlets for them so that we become lifelong lovers of music.
Ryan Sanders is the executive director and conductor of Coastal Winds and Harmony. He started the group in 2021 with a mission to use the power of music to inspire, connect, and uplift.
I was a former band director, and so I had the passion to start a new ensemble here in the community and spread the gift of music, and as well as provide outreach opportunities for other music programs.
Currently, about 36 talented members make up the group.
We've had a lot of support here at Del Mar College. We're able to rehearse and have our concerts here and share with the world.
Sanders shared that their goal now is to expand even further and provide more performance opportunities for musicians like trumpet player Samantha Hernandez.
Being part of this group is really important for me because once a week I can just leave reality behind and join my friends and make beautiful music together. It's kind of an escape from reality.
People of all backgrounds and skill levels are welcome to join, whether you're a seasoned player or like Hernandez, trying to get back in the groove after a few years away from your instrument.
It's just something that was lacking in my life up until this point, and now I have that, and I have that community and that outlet for music.
A lot of times people leave high school and I'll tell people that I'm a musician, and the first thing that they'll tell me is that, man, I really miss being a musician. I want to play my instrument again. And so here's that opportunity for you to come and pull that instrument out from underneath the bed and dust it off and play it again.
Now, if you don't have musical muscles to play an instrument, but your ears still crave good tunes, don't worry, because Coastal Winds and Harmony plans to host more concerts. Their next one is this Saturday, March 29th. Coastal Winds and Harmony is presenting from Mozart to Mackey Dancing Through Time. It starts at 4 p.m. at the Richardson Performance Hall at Del Mar College.
We'll be playing a movement of Mozart's Grand Partita back from 1782, and then we'll be premiering our brand new piece, Teeth of the Mechanism, that was written just a few months ago. And so we kind of have a little bit of everything in between, and you're going to get a little music history lesson.
Now, this weekend's concert is free, but you are encouraged to make a donation to support Coastal Winds and Harmony's community concerts, workshops, and educational outreach. For more information on Coastal Wind and Harmony, you can visit our website.
All right, now taking it outside, looking at our CC Skycam over at Snoopy's Pier. We can see, same thing with our last Skycam, the view is a little bit difficult to see just because of all that moisture adding towards the extra hue of fluorescence coming in from those lights. But we can see a couple cars, going on by on the JFK Causeway right now. Let's go and take a look at those traffic flow maps though to get a better idea what you can expect for your morning commute. So on our Skycam, things are moving pretty well on the JFK Causeway, so we can see that represented on our traffic flow map here as well. Moving on over to Flower Bluff, just a small slowdown happening throughout one portion of Waldron Road, all clear on Flower Bluff Drive, and just a bit of a small slowdown heading in both directions going to and from the gate at NAS Corpus Christi. Moving on over towards downtown, clear roadways and easy driving conditions happening on Ocean Drive down to SPID as well as on Saratoga, and then heading onto the Harbor Bridge going to and from the Portland area with no traffic hiccups or issues in sight. That's it for Traport, with details of your forecast coming up.
If you're a Coastal Bend veteran, a military spouse, or someone who supports our service members here in Nueces County, you're going to know the next man I'm about to interview. He's going to talk about the wall that heals. You won't want to miss it.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Good morning, Sunrise Team! We're out here with FBC Ardmore serving the community and serving the Lord. Have a great morning.
Oh, we love to see it, and we love those positive vibes. Thank you so much, First Baptist Ardmore, for sending us your shout-out video. And of course, folks, if you want to send us a video too, scan the QR code on the screen or head to our website, christv.com.
From Chris 6, this is 20 minutes of non-stop news.
And we are starting that 20 minutes of nonstop news with a live look from our Whataburger Skycam. Looking at the Harbor Bridge, looks like we got a couple of cars out on the road this morning. As we've been saying, folks, make sure you stay alert on those roadways because you might see some puddles out there. Make sure you go a little bit slower and just drive safe, folks. We will check in with meteorologist Julia Quady in just a bit to see what our forecast is looking like. But first, we're going to head on over to your neighborhood news.
Serious allegations against City Auditor George Holland sparked an external investigation. Workers claim ethics violations and a toxic environment. But Holland denies those allegations and City Council took no action. I'm Alexis Scott, investigating the controversy.
Mr. Holland behaved in ways that not only reflect poorly on him as the city auditor, but have besmirched the reputation of the city overall.
That's community member Elena Martinez voicing her concerns about City Auditor George Holland to City Council earlier this month. Martinez filed a public information request in October and received a portion of an external investigation into those accusations. The city's Human Resources Department began that investigation in July 2023 and later outsourced it to a law firm.
The attorneys performing the investigation heavily recommended removing the auditor from his office based on a toxic work environment and a lack of credible leadership and essential skills needed to manage the audit department.
Complaints from city workers alleged a toxic work environment, violations of professional ethics, and sexual misconduct involving a former colleague. Holland, a 35-year veteran auditor who has been with the city since 2023, denies the allegations.
It shows that this was a witch hunt, that it was not designed or even appropriately conducted, and it was not factually correct.
Holland claims the investigation was meant to intimidate him from completing an audit of the city's HR department, though the city says the audit didn't begin until November 2023, 4 months after the investigation started.
We're well positioned to execute on our plans. We've done it. We've done more audits than have been done previously, and one of which I take pride in is doing things ethically, honestly, be here for the taxpayers, be transparent.
Holland reports directly to the City Council, which received the full findings of the investigation. District 5 Councilman Gil Hernandez, the former chair of the Audit Committee, says the investigation lacked substantial evidence and relied on hearsay.
This was brought to the council beforehand. We looked at it. We had a lot of discussion about it. We chose not to move forward. And my thoughts was more of a hit job than real investigation.
Hernandez expressed confidence in Holland and says he does not believe the investigation justified removing him from his position.
We did have some discussion with him about how to avoid this in the future and performance. This is something a lot of auditors go through. Anytime they have findings or they're looking at something, then all of a sudden the investigation turns on them.
For Holland, he says the controversy hasn't changed his commitment to the role.
Pride myself in my integrity of over 35 years auditing experience. I just want to get at the truth.
George Holland says employees that were mentioned in the investigation have since transferred to other city departments. For 6 Investigates, I'm Alexis Scott.
Alexis, thank you so much. So City Manager Peter Zanoni spoke on our water situation at a city event. He assures the community that the water crisis is their top priority.
We're not stopping on bringing more water, and I just want to make that announcement since folks are here. So the Mary Roads pipeline will have an average of 75 million gallons a day. We produce and distribute out of the Owen Stevens treatment plant about 85 to 100. So the delta is made up with our reservoirs and some of these groundwater wells that we're working.
Now, folks, be sure to keep it right here on KrisTV.com for all of our flooding updates. We'll be tracking any flooding danger in your neighborhood. Just scan the QR code on your screen and it will take you to our flood blog. Now let's send it over to Julia Quady. She has a look at today's forecast.
Hey there, good morning, happy Thursday. So our big rain event started in the coastal bend yesterday, leading towards already very beneficial rainfall amount totals already in our area. The showers continue today and we'll expect it to continue ahead for tomorrow and your Friday as well. Let's go and take a look at this picture sent in by one of our coastal bend weather watchers. We got Ray and Marcella Magana, and they sent us their rain gauge and how much rainfall they recorded over at Skidmore nearby their ranch, and they said they saw around 5 inches of rainfall recorded here in their rain gauge there. So if you have any other cool photos that you might have that you want to send over to us, you can send that over towards our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers page on Facebook. But the amount that they saw over at their neighborhood very much makes sense, especially if you take a look at our reports coming in from the National Weather Service. This is based on rainfall amount totals as of 5 o'clock in the evening yesterday. And over at Skidmore, they recorded almost close to 5 inches of rainfall at that hour. So it seems pretty feasible that some neighborhoods could already see around 5 inches of rainfall in their neighborhood. Over in Aransas, saw nearby an inch of rainfall, close to 2 inches over in Kingsville. So again, these are all rainfall totals coming in from reports based on what we saw as of 5 o'clock in the evening yesterday. We've been still seeing rainfalls, of course, still happening across the coastal bend, so we can imagine those rainfall totals are only going to continue to increase. Right now, looking at Doppler radar, we can still see some heavier patches of rain still passing through parts of B County, a little bit through San Patricio, and now starting to approach Refugio County at this hour as well. So we can expect heavier rainfall to become more widespread as we go throughout our morning, definitely as we head towards this upcoming afternoon. We do have flood alerts still currently in place, a flood watch still in effect until noon on Friday, and then a couple small splotches of some flood warnings that are currently in effect over in B County, near the county line of San Patricio, Nueces County, and over in Jim Wells. So just make sure heading out the door, you are driving carefully, being extra vigilant on those roadways, not driving on any areas that you see any water building or ponding, just to make sure you're keeping yourself safe. On the front of those temperatures, those are going to be on the muggy and warm side, very similar to yesterday, starting out towards the upper 60s or low 70s. Not going to see too much of any variation as it relates towards our temperatures throughout the afternoon, just because we'll be looking at still mostly cloudy and surrounding showers across the area. And speaking of which, our shower activity will be expected to pick up later on this morning and throughout the afternoon, carrying on over towards the early morning hours on your Friday. But that rainfall is going to diminish as we head towards your Friday, with the help of a low pressure system that's going to come in through the area in the upper levels of the atmosphere, pretty much just cutting off our rain event early on in the afternoon on your Friday. So at that point, we'll be looking at warmer temperatures, more sunshine coming back into the mix for this weekend, well above average temperatures into the 80s. That's going to last into next week.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
In the 6 things you need to know, Governor Greg Abbott has issued a state emergency response due to an increased threats of flash flooding in areas of the state through the weekend. Abbott says the state is prepared to use all resources necessary to support communities in South and Southeast Texas. He urges neighbors to monitor the weather, listen to officials, and keep yourself and your loved ones safe. Now, due to the rain that the city is receiving this week, the City of Corpus Christi is asking neighbors to report any potholes or flooding you see around town. You can report them by calling 311. Neighbors can also download the free MyCC 311 app to make a report. Corpus Christi police need your help identifying the suspect involved with a rash of burglaries and a sexual assault at the Caspian Apartments on the south side. We first reported on those crimes in February. Last week, police released this video of a man who tried to burglarize one of the units at the Caspian Apartments. And police say DNA evidence collected from that attempted break-in has tied this man to the February burglaries and sexual assault. If you have any information on these crimes or the suspect, call Crime Stoppers at 888-TIPS. The executive director of the Downtown Management District is stepping down. Alyssa Barrera Mason has been with the DMD for more than 7 years. She announced she's leaving Corpus Christi to work with Houston's Downtown Management District. Mason's last day is April 17th, and the Downtown Management District will name an interim executive director at its next board meeting. So Workforce Solutions Coastal Bend, along with the San Patricio EDC, will be hosting a job fair in Sinton. The Skills, Trade, and Public Service Job Fair will take place today from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the San Patricio County Fairgrounds Civic Center. So make sure to bring copies of your resume. Employers will be on hand for interviews to fill positions immediately. The Civic Center is located at 219 West 5th Street. And Chris 6 and the Corpus Christi Hooks are once again teaming up in search of a special type of reporter. Throughout the season, 13 lucky kids will be chosen as a Chris 6 Hooks Kids reporter, and each winner will have the opportunity for a one-on-one interview segment with a Hooks player. Every interview will be aired right here on Chris 6 or on our sister station, Telemundo. We have more information on our website, christv.com.
All right, now taking it outside, looking at our sky cam over at SPID. You can see those roadways are a bit wet and soggy out there, so you want to make sure you're taking your time driving safely. Traffic flows to be moving at a pretty decent pace as well right now at this hour. Let's go and take a look at those traffic flow maps to get a better idea we can expect throughout other roadways here in the coastal bend. Heading on to the JFK Causeway going to and from the island. Looking at easy driving conditions right now with no traffic issues. Start to see a little bit more of a congestion starting to happen throughout parts of Flower Bluff, potentially really happening on Waldron Road. All clear on Flower Bluff Drive, just a bit of a medium speed happening as you start to approach and leave the gate at NAS Corpus Christi. Over to downtown, all clear on Ocean Drive down SPID as well as on Saratoga. Looking at very easy driving conditions with no concerns there either. Then moving on over lastly towards the Harbor Bridge, going to and from Portland, looking at no traffic issues or slowdowns in sight. But again, just not to harp on it, just make sure you're driving safely, especially on those roadways with those wet pavements. I'll be right back with more details.
Julia, thank you so much. So for the first time since 2011, the wall that heals a traveling replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial is back in the Coastal Bend. Neighborhood News reporter Tony Jaramillo joins us live now this morning from Veterans Memorial High School, where the exhibit is now open to the public. Hey, good morning, Tony.
Hey, good morning, Michelle. I'm joined by someone very special to the Coastal Bend veteran community. Who am I here with today?
My name is JJ De La Cerda. I'm the Director of Veterans and Social Services and VSO for Nueces County.
We were talking earlier, you were here yesterday for like 13 hours putting together this beautiful wall. JJ, what can you tell me about the wall?
Well, this the wall that heals is a 3/4 scale replica of the monument in Washington, D.C. It's 375 feet long, so it's pretty big. And we have 58,281 service members that actually served in Vietnam, men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice.
And you're a Marine. What does this mean to other Marines, other service members who were impacted by Vietnam?
Well, I think it's a place of healing, right? It's a place of refuge. A lot of times we don't express what we feel inside. We don't have that courage to let it out. This is a perfect place to come and do that. Come share your feelings, come share those tears. It's here for you to heal. That's exactly what it's for.
Yesterday, I interviewed a man named Bill Ingram. He's a Marine as well, and he was telling me yesterday that he hopes that this wall heal some of his wounds. Man, when you read that, when you heard that, what were your initial thoughts?
Well, that's exactly what we want, right? Like I said, a lot of us bottle this inner feelings for decades, not wanting to let it out. And this is a perfect place. It's a refuge place. It's here. I mean, we brought this for that purpose. It's for the Vietnam veterans to make sure that they get that welcome home that they never received when they came home.
And JJ, when will this be open today?
It's going to be open. It's actually open now, so you can come see it now. But we will have an opening ceremony today at Veterans Memorial High School. We're going to have it in the gym because we're expecting inclement weather. But 9 a.m. at the Veterans Memorial Gym. And then after that, it's open 24/7 up until Sunday, the 30th. We actually shut down at 1:45. We'll have a closing ceremony. And then 2 o'clock, we disassemble the wall. But we do want to invite the public to come out. We're going to have a great ceremony on Saturday, the 29th, at 10 a.m. right here on the grounds, and it's going to celebrate our Vietnam War veterans.
Gigi, thank you so much for what you do. Again, the welcome home ceremony will start at 9 a.m. here at Veterans Memorial High School. Michelle?
Ready, Tony, thank you so much for being out there. So calling all Office fans, Chili's is opening a new retro restaurant there that pays homage to the show. It will feature decor from iconic Office moments, and the restaurant has enlisted several Office actors to star in the ads, familiar faces like Meredith, Kevin, and Jan. This is Chili's first location in Scranton, despite several memorable appearances on the show. It opens April 7th, 20 years after the iconic Dundies episode first aired. Hey, that looks pretty cool.
I know we were talking about earlier, you're an Office fan.
Yes.
Yes. I'm not an Office fan. I know our director, David, he encourages me to watch it. I try. It's growing on me. As the seasons go on, it's getting better for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, like a fan in a way where it's a really fun thing to watch, like while I'm getting ready, background noise. So I might not know too many Office references because it's usually just on, and I'm like, yeah, that's funny, and then I just kind of like continue doing whatever I'm doing.
It's good dry humor, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of dry, we're not dry.
We're not. No, not at all. We have those showers still happening across the coastal bend. We will see some areas get a little bit more drier over the next few hours. We'll see a bit of a pause of our shower activity throughout some neighborhoods later on this morning before all of us start to see an increase by the time we head towards this afternoon. We can see right now happening on Doppler radar those last bit of showers passing through parts of our inland neighborhoods, and then we're going to be looking at a bit of an intermission, and we'll have another round coming on through later on today. We can see still some heavier pockets passing throughout parts of B County as well as now approaching Refugio County at this moment. We do have those flood alerts still on deck for us this morning and heading towards at least your Friday when we expect that flood watch that is currently in place to expire at noon tomorrow. We do have a couple flood warnings that are also in place right now at this hour, and that's related towards those heavier pockets of rainfall that are still happening right now throughout some neighborhoods. So parts of B County, the county line nearby San Patricio, Nueces, and as well as Jim Wells County having those three flood warnings currently in place right now. So just making sure that when you head out the door, drive safely, take your time on those roadways to make sure you get to your destination safely. And we'll see our temperatures. Those are going to be lagging for us this morning, barely making it towards the upper 60s to low 70s. Very similar to yesterday. We're not going to see a big jump in our temperatures for this afternoon for our afternoon high temperatures, just because we'll still be looking at mostly cloudy conditions and those widespread showers and thunderstorms still passing on through. But let's go ahead and introduce our star for this morning for our dog walking forecast. We got Winston, maybe eager to go out on their dog walk, and maybe if you want to head out and maybe miss that shower activity in your neighborhood, throughout some neighborhoods, because we are still seeing a bit of an intermission and pause from our rain event. Maybe you want to head out the door and do that right now if you want to miss those showers. We can see shower activity will still be in the forecast though throughout the morning, just depending on where you are exactly. You may be in a bit of pause right now or still have those showers ongoing in your particular neighborhood. Seeing those temperatures though, barely making it towards the lower 70s by noon. And then again, all of us will only see our temperatures for our afternoon highs barely make it towards the mid 70s later on this afternoon as well. We'll see our rain chances begin to dip later on this morning, especially for inland and more northern neighborhoods. Rather for coastal neighborhoods, we'll see a bit of an uptick to more widespread shower activity. Then all of us will see a more strong, heftier round of showers and thunderstorms that will begin to develop later on this afternoon. Those will continue to linger throughout our evening, then begin to slowly diminish a bit during the overnight hours to early tomorrow morning on your Friday. Now, Friday, we do expect those showers to begin to fizzle on out, leading towards then drier conditions coming in for this upcoming weekend. But those showers that will pick up later on this afternoon, there is a slight risk that some of them may become severe. So we are under a level 2 out of 5 for a slight risk of severe weather in our forecast for today. So just make sure you stay weather aware, and stay tuned in to Chris 6 News so we can give you all the updates you need to know as relates to your forecast. We'll still be looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms all across the area here. Again, picking up more hefty in nature later on this afternoon, then carrying on over towards your Friday. And then we'll be looking at a cutoff. We'll get some dry air coming on in Friday afternoon. That's going to lead to a big warmth in our temperatures this weekend. Also see some more sunshine and above average temperatures into next week.
Looks good. What we need and then what we want for a weekend.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect way to put it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Julia, and thank you folks for joining us. We'll see you later this afternoon at noon.